All right, good afternoon. It is Tuesday, September the 8th. Today we talked about the agriculture industry. Before this, make sure that you post what it is you are thinking about doing for your SAE in that SAE discussion board, because that is the only way I can keep track of who is doing what project. And then for our outlines today, we're going to do about 2/3 of these today. We went through and we talked about agriscience and how that's a scientific principle, and it focuses on new technologies in agriculture. It's an applied science, which is a science that you actually learn about and then take that knowledge and then actually go outside and practice those skills, such as entomology, ag engineering, and agronomy. So, entomology, you're dealing with insects. Agronomy is field crops. So, you're actually taking your knowledge of how plants grow and how to incorporate stuff into the soil to get them to grow, right? So, that's what makes an applied science. You're actually doing it with your hands instead of learning about it just in class. Kind of recap the big things. Agriculture is plants and animals, and it also includes natural resources, which is fish, wildlife, water, and land. So agriculture is a pretty all-encompassing area. Agriculture is critical. Without agriculture, you would not have food, clothes, or any place to live. So everybody needs some agriculture, right? Very important industry. And agribusiness is just that. It's a business that stems from agriculture. There's two different classes. It could be related directly to farming, or it could be related to horticulture. This horticulture area, when we talk about greenhouses and nursery and landscaping, that is the number one economic industry in all of North Carolina. The green industry makes more money than any other industry. So really, really valuable asset to all of North Carolina. Renewable natural resources is anything that can replenish themselves. That's why they're called wildlife. They don't need any help from people in order to stay alive. A couple of additional areas: horticulture, processing fruits, vegetables, and ornamental plants. We also discussed ornamental plants. We talked about how ornamental plants are those plants that are grown for their appearance. You're not going to eat them. You're not collecting seed from them. You're growing them strictly based upon how they look. Ag mechanics is machinery. That's an easy way to remember that definition. Ag mechanics, machinery. Forestry is just that. Trees grow in the forest, so we should never miss that question for forestry. And then a couple of trends about agriscience and agriculture in general. World population's increasing. You have children living longer, adults living longer. You have better medical. You have more technology. The jobs aren't as strenuous as what they used to be. So there's a lot of things that factor into that. The highest demand in agriscience and agriculture are scientists and engineers, right? Without these scientists and engineers, right, designing new kinds of equipment, it's going to be very hard to keep up with the demand of agriculture. 90% of the population used to live on the farm, whereas now only 2% of the population, they're providing enough food for everybody in the country. The average farmer today produces enough food for 135 people, right? And 20% of the total jobs in the United States are in agriculture. It is America's number one employer, right? So 135 people. We stopped at inventions and inventors today. So when you get to this point right here, do not go any further in your outline. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, issues, whatever the case may be, go ahead and reach out to me, and I will see you all back in class tomorrow.